Happy Tuesday, everybody. Mr. T back. I'm shooting today from my dining room. Ollie's in here with me. I don't know if he's going to bark. I hope not. So anyway, coming to you from the dining room today. So today, we did our welcome yesterday. Today our lesson is going to be just kind of reviewing the lessons that we did before spring break, which was 3 weeks ago. So hopefully you can remember some of the things we talked about. I'm just going to review a couple of them and then talk about one in particular, which is probably pretty important around this time and being then the situation that we're in. So before we left, we were talking about feelings that we had. And the first one that we did was love, and we all talked about how things that we love and the feelings that we have for that. The second one we did was anger, another one that we talked about and had good discussions about in classroom. Then we talked about jealousy and being jealous, and how we had some really good ideas of how you guys and girls talked about how maybe someone had something you wanted and that made you jealous, or someone got to do something that you wanted to do and that made you jealous. So we talked about those feelings that were associated with jealousy. Next, we went on to being proud of things, had good discussions about work that you're proud of at school, maybe projects that you've done that you're proud of, maybe that you're really good at something and you're proud of that. Talked about how your mom and dads probably tell you they're proud of you for things that you do, be it with how you act, the things we talked about, projects, things like that. And we had discussions about that. And then the last one that we talked about kind of before spring break, and you did a little project on it, and unfortunately most of those are still at school, and I was going to send them home with the bags, but we didn't have names on them, so I didn't remember whose was whose. And I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the worry rocks that we made, and those were the rocks that you painted. And then we had to put that special coating around the outside a couple times, and then we needed them to dry. Well, it worked out that they didn't get home with you because of all this happened. So if you remember, our worry rock was something you made that if you're worried about something and you don't want to have to keep thinking about it, was the rock that you could tell your worry to, and then it would take it away. Okay? Or it was something that the rock would have to worry about instead of you. And we talked about how it's not good to worry about things all the time because it really doesn't do us any good. And we talked about positive actions that we could do instead of worrying about it. And one of them was the worry rock. I'm going to read this poem to you quick. This was the poem that we read the day that we talked about worrying. And maybe it'll remind you of some of the things that we talked about, hopefully, even though it was a long time ago. It's called The Worry Beast and Me. I never had a care in the world, no fears, no troubles, no blame, till the awful day the worry beast appeared and whispered my name. It told me, worry, worry all the time, fret and fuss and stew, worry over everything, that's what you must do. The worry beast sat on my shoulder, day after day after day. Whenever I started to feel good, it would pinch me hard and say, worry, worry all the time, fret and fuss and stew, worry over everything, that's what you must do. So I did. Did I track mud on Mom's clean floor? Did I forget to lock the door? How can I pass the science test? Does Uncle Jack think I'm a pest? What if Rebecca wants to fight? Lost my place. Didn't I answer right? Will the weekend be cold or hot? Why do I have to get that shot? Does Daddy know I told a lie? What if the stars fall from the sky? What if giants come while I sleep? What if my mom won't let me keep the fish I traded for her mop? What if, now, hold it, cut it, stop. All of a sudden, I told myself I'd had enough of that game. Now when the worry beast pinches me and starts to whisper my name, I tell him, worry, worry all the time, fret and fuss and stew. Go away, old worry beast. I've had enough of you. So we read that poem, and then we talked about our worry rocks, and you made your worry rocks. And then I just had some questions for you about that. And the reason we talked about worrying and how it doesn't do a lot for you, and it just makes you feel icky inside. And especially, I'm sure a lot of you have been worrying, as have I, with not being at school and the coronavirus that's going on, or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. And hopefully you've gotten someone to talk to about that, or you've gotten to talk to your parents about that, or maybe you've remembered how to use the worry rock and told the worry rock about it so you wouldn't have to worry about it. So one of the things tomorrow in our lesson 2, it kind of goes along with this worrying thing. I'm going to put a video in there that I have found on the internet that talks about the virus, and hopefully it can make your worries not be so bad about it. And then also the emotion we're going to talk about tomorrow goes along with worrying a little bit, which is fear. And so I'm hoping that when you're able to watch that, then your parents have probably already talked to you about this, and if you've had worries about it. And that's what, too, when Miss Rita or Miss Tina and I call, if you want to talk about that, because you're worried about it, that would be a good time to do that. But with this lesson, the biggest thing, and I'm going to stress this before we go now, is that you can't always sit and worry about stuff, because there are things that we can't even control, and this is actually one of them. We're doing the best we can to help it from getting worse, but we can't sit and worry about it all the time, because it's just going to make us feel icky, and we won't be able to get on with the things that we need to do during the day. So that's kind of our lesson for today, a review of what we had been working on before you left, and then also to review the one I think is really important right now. So we have a few left with these lessons that we'll continue with our identifying our feelings, which is what we've been talking about for the last 4 weeks. And so we'll continue to do those lessons. There's really nothing for you to do today, except if you are worrying about something, maybe go out and get a new worry rock out of your yard, and just, even though it's not painted, maybe that's something you could do, is paint a new worry rock, or just use the rock like it is, and either tell the worry rock or tell someone close to you if you're worried about something, so you can get over it and not have to worry about it. Okay? All right. I'll show you a quick shot just for something new. Like I said, I'm in my dining room this time. And I'll just I'm going to switch this around here so you can kind of see if I know how to do this. Why is it not working? Maybe I have to pause it. All right, I'll figure it out. Anyway, I was going to show you, I can go like this, I guess. This is out my back window. This is our yard. We kind of live out in the woods. And if you look down there, you can see the lake kind of in the background. I don't know how well you can see it. But we're a little ways off the lake, but that's our backyard. So I told you every day I'm going to try to show you something new about my house. And so you can kind of see what's going on here too. Okay? All right, well, we're about 10 minutes, so I hope you've had a great Tuesday so far. If you're watching this in the morning, hopefully you'll have a great day. Really no assignment, but was just to watch the video today. Okay? And tomorrow there'll be a little bit more work with it. Our lesson tomorrow will have a worksheet with it, which hopefully you have in your packet. And it's labeled for, I don't know if the worksheet's labeled, but it'll tell you it's the one on fear. So we'll be talking about that emotion tomorrow, or that feeling tomorrow. So I hope all of you have a wonderful day. I hope the sun is going to start shining even more, because it's a lot nicer than it is when it's cloudy. All right. I miss you all. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Have a great night. Bye.